Since you clicked on this video, I'm going to presume you didn't think this was going to be some random kid chugging down water. Now, I believe that despite the thumbnail and the fact that I said this is clickbait, you think I have something deep up my sleeve. Even though I'm short-sleeved today. And you're right. So now I'll tell you what this video is really about. First, it's about the history of clickbait and where it started from. And secondly, it's about why we believe such lies and why we believe them sometimes more readily than the truth itself. It's gonna be a deep dive today, boys. So to properly clickbait someone, you have to propose that once they do X, they will get Y. So if you see a video with a title and thumbnail about puppies, you're going to click on it assuming it's going to be about puppies. And once you click on the video, you're assuming that you're going to feel an overload of cuteness about all the puppies you're going to see. But then it's just some guy drinking water and you've been
hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Of course, this is a tamer example of clickbait. Most clickbait will try to elicit negative emotions like fear or anger. And to be honest, this just fuels the flames for some because they never even click on the video, they just read the title and thumbnail and then they get upset. Come on, you've done that once before. Clickbait gets us going because we all want to see something new and exciting, and the clickbaiter knows this, which is why he lies to us. It's all about emotion. And don't forget that, because I'm going to go back to that when we talk about why we believe lies. The idea of clickbait has been around for a long time, all the way back to 1835. So since I'm in the present time, we have to go into the past to go talk about this. So come on, let's go. Now that we are very clearly in the past, I want to talk about a newspaper that reported that there was life on the moon in 1835. You can tell we're in the past because I have a hat now, so. Can everybody comment, nice hat, Jose? Aside from that one point in 1835, yellow journalism really took its power from Joseph Pulitzer. Yes, he's the guy that made the Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer, who owned the New York World newspaper, cared more about the story and how you felt when you read it, as opposed to facts. He added a little bit of sensationalism and lots of pictures in his stories to make readers feel emotion. And when his readers felt emotion, they would go back and buy more newspapers to feel that emotion again. And then they would tell their friends about this because, hey, why not have your friends feel that emotion too? That would drive circulation and make his newspaper more popular. But then the New York Journal was bought by William Randolph Hearst, and a war broke out. A war for who would have supreme circulation in the New York area. Pulitzer or Hearst. To see who would gain supremacy, they focused on sensationalized headlines, made claims they really couldn't back up, and had an unhealthy focus towards violence. Why? Because violence sells stories, and yellow journalism, just like clickbait, likes to use negative emotions. Frank Luther Mott, a professor and journalist, gave 5 ways that yellow journalism worked. Scary headlines in huge print, often sensationalizing minor news. Lavish use of pictures or imaginary drawings. Use of faked interviews, misleading headlines, pseudoscience, and a parade of false learning from so-called experts.
You are fake news.
Emphasis on full-color Sunday supplements, usually with superficial articles and comics. Dramatic sympathy with the underdog against the system. Now, before I move on to modern clickbait, I want to tell you a really quick fun fact about how yellow journalism got its name. It started from this comic strip from The Yellow Kid. This is the comic that popularized the use of word balloons and was very satirical about sensational journalism. So much so that the Yellow Kid became synonymous with yellow journalism, even after the character was retired. Alright, time to go back to the future. I'm trapped in the 80s! Now, launching into the internet age, we have terms like catfishing and clickbait. And you are the fish. This is pretty much yellow journalism on a more personal level. You're still being lied to, but
this time, it's personal.
Now, congrats on making it about halfway through the video. We're going to be talking about why people like to lie. There's this movie with Ricky Gervais called The Invention of Lying, and the world the main character lives in has no concept of lies. So when Ricky is able to start lying for the first time, everyone believes him because no one has a dishonest bone in their body.
I'm black. I knew it.
How would you feel to live a life like that? Because for some reason, humans like to believe lies. I'm not talking about comforting lies like, oh, you look nice today, when the person they're complimenting looks like they fell off a tractor. No, and I'm not talking about lies you tell children like, oh, turning that car light on is illegal when, in fact, it's not. I'm talking about serious lies. People lie for themselves. Whether they say they're lying for someone else, like my previous tractor example, or the liar is just trying to profit off the backs of the vulnerable. Like this grandma, except that's not a real grandma, that's an AI image. I just lied to you! And just like how people lie for themselves, many people believe lies for themselves. They will ignore certain truths, act oblivious to red flags, and believe the lies someone tells straight to their face because it's more comfortable like that. But what about clickbait and scams? Well, I think it's pretty easy to figure out why people fall for clickbait, and if you want I can go over the X and Y values again, but I think there might be a waste, so instead I'm going to talk about why people believe in scams. First off, it's safe to say that humans are rather trusting. If something presents itself in some way, we're going to believe it. Evil people prey on that with a fervor. And secondly, it's all about emotion. When you hear scammers talking to their victims, they do two things. First, they make me really upset. And secondly, they try to develop a rapport and trust with the victim. Which I find ironic because what they're doing, lying, is inherently a destroyer of trust.
I was not brought up to believe that people will lie with that level of bad faith.
Which is why you may find it even more scary now that a scammer can sound like a loved one's voice. The more personal the scam, the more emotion is attached, and the more likely you are to shell out big bucks. In short, lying is about manipulation, and we've been doing it from the beginning. So, here's my 2 cents to you guys. Don't trust people! You don't know where they've been! Hit the like button, the subscribe button, and watch another video for 8,000 years of good luck. You will live 8,000 more years and have good luck for the entirety of that time. Don't you trust me? Don't you want to see your family grow? Don't you love them? Until next time.